Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Unfiltered with Bridget
and Angie.
And today we're talking about
Just things that grind my gears.
today's a day about Angie.
It's just been one of those weeks. You ever get those weeks where you're just like, gah, you just want to pull your hair out because people are just not. I get that not everybody is perfect, but I feel.
Oh wait, I thought you were perfect.
I mean,
because we do have an episode where you're like,
I mean, but I guess what I'm trying to get is I've had this happen twice in 1 week.
Okay.
Where I've had people come to me asking for help because their current deals are falling apart with their current lender because of whatever reason. One of them was because she wasn't listening to what the borrower wanted, and like, cause she had a solution, but they weren't listening, so they didn't do it. Then it's like, oh, well, you're denied, and that's not. And then the other one, again, they weren't listening to what she was saying, and they strong armed her into doing things that she didn't need to do that aren't required. So both these borrowers come to me, I was like, I got you. Like, we'll figure it out. But then the lenders come back at them and say how horrible I am. That
you're taking work.
Yeah, that you're getting bad advice, and your lender shouldn't be doing that, and blah blah blah. And I think you should be sticking with what we're doing and all these things. Like, whatever happened to being like amicable, and like another lender that I follow that actually works with my company, she's in Tennessee, she posted the same thing today. I think she had another one where she saved a deal from somebody else that couldn't do it, and then they said how horrible she was of a lender and that you're getting bad advice and you shouldn't do that, you should stay where you are. So I just don't understand the need to be nasty.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I get it that not everybody can do everything, but if somebody can actually do it for you and take care of your client, like, isn't that a good thing?
It is a good thing, but I mean, you're probably hurting their feelings. Maybe not feelings, their ego, because you're taking the client and now you're doing better, with the client then. And so now they're like, oh, and then they have to, false information.
Yeah, they're saying that you're getting bad advice. Like, I don't know if I think I've said this before. Maybe I haven't said it before, but I love to read the guidelines. Like, I find it interesting to read them because you'd be surprised like how much you can learn from them and how you can better help your clients. You understand what's in the guidelines.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, if you don't know what's in it, we have our own AI built into our guidelines where I can type in a question and it'll scrub it and then pull it for me.
Yeah.
So like, I read them for fun, just because I like to learn about products and things. Everybody has their quirks, but I enjoy it. So like, what I'm saying to my borrowers, I know is correct.
Yeah.
Because I read the guidelines that said that. Now, these people may have overlays, which I know we've talked about before, overlays where they add extra layers on top of it. That may be a thing. But again, we don't have that. So we write directly through all of these companies.
Right.
So that makes things a little bit easier because there's no hoop to jump through, because it's literally, we're talking right to the investor.
Right.
Whether it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, we write right through them. So it makes it a little bit easier. But again, if you don't understand your craft, you can't, I just feel it's just it's frustrating.
Oh, I know. I know. I mean, I can say it from my end, about agents. Like, even when agents come in and they're rude right off the bat, it's not gonna work. Like, you know what? We all are in this together. Your lender's in it with you, your buyer's agent or listing agent, whoever it may be. I mean, we're all in it together.
Right.
As a seller, you've got a listing agent. The buyer has a buyer's agent, and then there's a lender 9 times out of 10. And guess what? Newsflash, people. We all want the same ending.
Right.
So let's
play nice.
Let's play nice. Let's work together. Let's not be rude, because people that get along are amicable, you get deals done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I'm pretty amicable unless, someone pushes too far.
Right.
Or they're expecting unrealistic things and they want my buyer to, or my seller to fix, or my buyer to do this or that, then I do push back. But otherwise, hey, we're all in this together. We all want to see the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, people aren't nice anymore.
It's just so frustrating, and if you can't do it, then you can't do it. But I think the best thing is if you can find a solution, or there's always a way to fix something somehow.
Yep.
So it just blows my mind, and I feel like that speaks a lot to your character also,
Oh,
on who you
absolutely.
are. Like
Yep.
it just says volumes on who you are. You're not in this, like you're.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have words to put in the frustration that I feel.
Oh, it was probably about, I can tell you, I know where your level is because
Yeah.
it was probably my level how long ago when I was dealing with an out of town agent
Yeah.
who talked down to me and expected, his buyers expected everything. So
Yeah.
it is frustrating. It is beyond frustrating.
Yeah. And it just seems like right now things are hard enough the way it is.
You're telling
Okay?
me.
This market is not friendly. Like there's so many things happening right now. Like the bond market is just, it's very reactive. There's so much negativity in just, the news right now, everything. And even like the housing market, I feel like is very exactly like it's not. This is not like, I feel like this is not standard behavior in general for
No,
how the market
no.
is. So
Mm-mm.
we're all charting very you know,
Charted territory.
yes, yes, yeah. We're not. We have not been in this position before.
Mm-mm.
We still have people that think it's 2021, and it's definitely not 2021. Like we're very much in a 2026. Everything has changed. Not even over 5 years, over the past like year, past 6 months. I mean, so much has changed in just this year. Like all the forecasts
Yeah.
that everybody had, end of last year, forecasts of what would happen this year. Nobody had a war on their bingo card. So that kind of,
Do a
shook up the
wrench.
market a lot. And there, I mean, you can see with the gas prices and everything, there's just so much going on that I think the last thing we need is, like a dog eat dog world. Like,
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, real estate in general is not the same as it was 2 months ago.
yeah.
Legit, like I have houses listed for sale and I will get a buyer and they'll just walk away.
How is
No
that?
reason.
But how is that legal? Because aren't they in a legally binding contract? So wouldn't that bind them to the house? They can't be like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, it depends, it comes down to how much do you want to fight as far as the seller goes. Like if I've got the seller, we get an accepted offer and the buyer just goes, yep, nope, I'm out. Okay. My seller can fight for the earnest money to keep it. That's why it's there, because of buyer's remorse and things like that. It's to show earnest money is to show you're serious.
Right.
But it comes down to the fact, if the seller hangs on to the earnest money and doesn't let that buyer go, your house is on the market until everybody has signed and agreed to the cancellation
So
and
it
mutual release. Yeah.
can delay. Interesting. So usually if they cancel like right away, it's not as damaging, I'm assuming, then if
Correct.
they agree
Yes.
to just cancel and
Yep.
just put it back on the market.
Correct. Yeah. If it's within, and I just heard from another agent, like I have talked to so many agents lately and they're all experiencing the same thing. Like it is literally the wild, wild west out
Do
there.
you think I almost wonder if do you think it's because of the war?
I
I mean, there's
wonder,
so much
yes.
uncertainty in what's going on, and like they keep on saying that they have like they are created as peace agreements, and then they get rejected, and like there just never seems to be any type of resolution. Like when they start saying, okay, we might see things get better, then the market does good for like a day, and
Right.
then like, oh, just kidding, and then it goes
Yep.
back down.
Yep.
So I almost wonder if it's because the market is so volatile that buyers are afraid.
Yeah, that very well could be. I mean, I've had on my listings, I've had buyers submit amendments that are ridiculously long that by the time my seller were to correct everything, it'd be a brand new house. Like,
Right.
they're just unrealistic. Like I always say now to sellers is I feel like buyers are seeking revenge because
Okay.
sellers, most of the sellers still have this mindset. It is
Yeah, 2021, 2020. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah, they can
where
get 50 grand over asking price. Then
correct.
house sells in
So
2 hours.
correct. So they want to price it high. Well, now I feel like buyers are like, I got you.
Right. Right. Well,
You
we
know,
waited, we most buyers now probably sat on the fence and waited for the
right.
past couple of
And
years
so
to buy.
now, yeah. And so now they do home inspections and they come back with a list like this long and they want this fixed, that fixed. Oh, don't forget, they want a seller credit and potentially money off the offer price.
Oh my
Yeah. So I'm
gosh.
like, you guys, we need to price appropriately for this market because buyers are legitly seeking revenge. I swear to God. That's all I can think of.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is
So it's
interesting.
switched then. So now do you think it's slowly becoming more of a buyer's market?
According to the data, it still shows it's a seller's market.
Because inventory is still low, right?
Correct. That's why. But right now, I don't care what the data shows, the buyers are holding the cards.
Well, because there seems to be a lot more negotiation. And
there is.
And I think it might depend on your market too. I think
Yep.
Between, Dodge County, Washington County, Fond du Lac County, I feel like each of the counties probably have their own different type of market. But I feel like I've noticed a lot more negotiation. And a lot of times when I get contracts, a lot of them have seller concessions, to
Yep.
help make things more affordable
Yep.
for buyers, which I absolutely love, when they're trying to help, make
Yep.
things more affordable, make the process go a little bit smoother, a little less financial strain on the buyers. So it's nice to see some of
Yep.
those things coming across, but it sounds too like it might be adding extra layers of stress on the process, because it's not 2021 anymore where your house on the market for 48 minutes and it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
just absolutely insanity. Like I don't know that because I've been in the market or in mortgage for 11 years. I don't know that there's, because that was my first time I've ever seen it. I don't know if it ever happened before. Where was that crazy? I mean, maybe before 08 when everything,
maybe
took a dump. But I'm just,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the houses I can tell you that are flying off the market are the houses that are priced just right, where a buyer walks in and they're like, oh my God, I cannot turn this down at this price.
right.
That's what's flying off the market. And that's what's flying off with, very little contingencies.
Right.
So
It's a homes that need love, probably,
Correct.
that are having a little harder time to sell.
Correct. And, a couple of my sellers that I'm working with, they understand their home needs love. And that's why we priced it where it is. I can walk through and I can see the value in a home. Like, okay, well, if this, and this, and this were done, you could price it here.
Yeah, the vision of like if you fix up these couple of things, it would add a lot more value.
Correct. Yeah.
Not like painting the walls or something.
No, paint's really, unless you've got fluorescent green and yellow, painting really isn't. If you've got really dark colors and you add a lighter color, that will help. It'll make
It brightens the space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Makes it look a little bit better. So those types of things I do, it doesn't necessarily add value. It just helps justify your price a little bit more.
Not only that, but I think it also helps like the appeal of it, just
Yeah.
to look, because some people are very visual, because not everybody can have that vision of seeing what it may look like. Like they need to see it in order to believe it, kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah. So, houses need love. And if you can see the vision in it and you could put,
Right. If it's priced correctly.
Exactly. Put a little love into a little TLC, baby it a little bit. You're going to get a lot more out of it. And, you're smarter, especially from what we've seen. You're smarter if you buy now.
Well, you and I have been talking about this for years. Like ever since the market started to go back up, ever since the COVID rates, retired and everything went back up, people ask like, when's the best time to buy? Like, should I keep on waiting? Like the best time to buy is when it's most comfortable for you. Like that's your choice. It's whatever comfort level you currently have on when's the right time to buy. And they say like, well, I'm just going to wait for the rates to drop to this. So I'm going to wait for the rates to go down to this. Like, that's great because rates, as we've talked about before, rates are a very big driving factor in the affordability for homes.
Yep.
However, if you can afford the current market at where the values are, it might be smart to look at buying a house now and then refinancing in the future. A refinance is not guaranteed, obviously, but more often than not, people can refinance their loan, at some point of their.
Correct.
But as long as you're comfortable now, because when the rates drop, that's going to create more demand, which is therefore going to cause the appreciation values to go up quicker on homes. So yes, you may save 1% on interest, but you're going to pay 10% more for the house, for example. I don't know what the appreciation rate is, but more, and we saw that during COVID.
Mhm.
So we've been talking about this for a long time, and I don't know that people aren't seeing it, but what's going to happen is when that market finally breaks and
Yep.
the rates are, where like where everybody deems to be the niche spot. I mean, I
Mhm.
think everybody
Yep.
has their own
Yep.
preference on what that is.
Yep.
But once that happens, those floodgates will open, and there's going to be like millions of buyers added
Mhm.
to the surplus. So honestly, if you could afford to buy now, right now may be the best time to get, the best out of your money for
Mhm.
affordability wise. And
Mhm.
then when the rates do go down, you already own the home, you can refinance, get that new value that the market has
Mhm.
appreciated to, and then get the lower rates. And you get a win-win in that instance also
Here's a
versus
triple win. Then you can even take money out and fix up your home.
if
And
the equity
now,
is there.
if the equity
Yeah.
is there, yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
If the equity is there, yes. But I mean, I mean, I've been preaching that so long, and I just feel like people don't listen to me. Like,
No. I feel like we could talk about it literally every day, and
mhm.
people be like, "Well, I didn't know that," because
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
we can only we try to tell everybody that we possibly can, but
yes,
I mean, the whole marry the home, date the rate kind of thing, like that's kind of gone to the wayside. Like that's not. I mean, that's not. It's technically still a thing, but it's not really what they pitch
people still say
anymore.
it.
Yeah, it's not as big of a pitch as it used to be when there was like 8%.
Mhm.
When the market was really high.
Right.
So I mean, we are lower than we were at this time last year. So I mean, we're still on the right
Mhm.
trajectory for people, and even when it comes to refinance, like usually if the rate goes down by 0.5% or more than your current rate, it usually may make sense to look into refinance.
Mhm.
However, what you save per month is up to you if it makes sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, yeah, we can rewrite you all day long. That's great. Like your rate went down 0.5%. Let's rewrite you. And then,
Mhm.
you can keep on doing that. But if you're only saving like $75, to somebody that may be a lot. I mean,
Mhm.
to another person, like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's all, again, it's always based on your preference. Like, well, should I refinance? Well, does it make sense for you to refinance?
Mhm.
Like, how much ideally would you want to save or need to save per month to help your budget and make things feel more comfortable for you? Because whatever that difference is, okay, let's see what the rate needs to be to get to that.
Mhm.
And then if it's, reasonable, not like a 1% interest rate, if it's a reasonable rate,
Right.
well, then I put a strike rate on their file. And when we hit that, then I
Yeah.
say, hey, are you ready?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so it's all based on what
You
is
can
comfortable
afford.
for
Yep.
you. I can't tell you what's affordable to you.
Mhm.
Just like you can't say, oh, you have to buy now.
Mhm.
It's
No.
really based on what your comfort level is. You're not going to push you into something you're going to regret either.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I think my personal opinion and even professional, you know, buying a house that needs work,
Mm-hmm.
and getting it at the price that it's listed at, and then putting, your sweat, blood, tears, whatever it is into it. And then when the market does, where the rates drop
Yeah,
and, people are selling because they can get more, great, go for it.
right.
Because then you're going to be way ahead of everybody else until you go to buy.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
unfortunately, that is the flip side of that coin. And keep in mind too, we offer renovation loans. So if
yes.
you don't have the money to do it, to
Mhm.
fix up the home, or you have no interest in doing it yourself, you want somebody to do it for you, we
Mhm.
can we can finance it in with your mortgage and make it all one loan. So if people have the vision but not the finances to do it,
That's a
you,
good
you
point.
could do you could do the renovation loan, and then you can finance the cost to renovate your home in with your mortgage. So it's all one mortgage. So I consider the first and second mortgage all one mortgage right away up front. It's almost like a construction loan, but you have the
Mhm.
home and you can live in it if you want to, depending on how much, work
Yeah.
you need to do to it.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's always an option too. If you find a home that's not perfect, but it
Mhm.
has good bones and it has the ability to do what you want it to do,
Mhm.
you want a kitchen or you want to add
Yeah.
a bathroom or whatever. You even have ones where you can build a garage. Like the renovation loan will cover a garage.
Oh, I need to add on a 2-car garage.
Yeah.
I don't know if the city will let me, but
Probably not. I think you're limited in where you are. But if some people don't have a garage at all, I mean, I
right.
feel like a garage is a big selling point,
Absolutely, it
especially in
is.
Wisconsin,
Oh, absolutely.
with the weather that we have. So
Mhm.
even renovation loans will cover the cost of a garage.
Mhm.
And if you want to get real bougie, you can get a pool also.
That was gonna be my next question.
If you want to get really bougie, they have ones that will put in a pool.
So will that renovation loan cover cutting trees down and then putting in a pool? Maybe.
I don't know. I think it all depends on the cost.
Hmm.
But so there are options where if now is a perfect time, or you found the perfect house but it needs love, you can do a renovation loan. It's finance, and then your loan amount is based on all of that anyways. And then the appraiser says, okay, if you do all of these 5 things, here's your estimated value at that time, and then we appraise it based on that. So then you have all that built in. You only have one payment.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, and it's done by like whoever you want to hire. And the good thing is you get to pick who you want. Versus like a construction, you have to have a general, and the general picks, whoever they want to subcontract through them. With a renovation loan, you pick whomever you want. They have to be licensed, obviously. They can't just be, your uncle who does it on the side. It has to be a licensed contractor for whatever you want to be done.
Yeah.
But like if you needed to get new flooring, new carpet, you can hire Home Depot to do it, or new. I mean, you don't have to pick.
Right.
I mean, you can as long as we have a business that we can pay for the work that they did. We just can't pay you obviously for the work. So
which makes sense.
Yeah, so it has to go to a company. But I mean, that would be a great solution to, they call it house hacking, and that's basically what it is.
Yeah. No, it's great. Like I am the type, like when I found my house,
your house was
it needed love.
She was a beaut.
It needed love, and I have slowly been working at it, and I absolutely love it. Like I seen the vision as soon as I walked in, and not every buyer has it. There's some buyers that just want to walk in and unpack and be
That's
done.
it. Yeah.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But if you have a vision, man,
you can get a good deal at that point too.
Yeah. I mean, I've had quite a few buyers that have seen the vision and, oh, we can do this, we can do that, and those are the most fun showings ever, because then I'm like, oh, what if you did that? And then,
because they're bringing things to life. Yeah.
Yeah. There were, a couple couples that I really enjoyed working with, and it's awesome. And I went back to see one of the buyer's house.
After it was done?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Dylan and Jade.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They love the fixer uppers. Like we would walk into a house and they would see the vision and I'd be like, ooh, that's too much. And they're like, no. But yeah, and then they landed on this one house and they seen the vision. I'm like, oh yeah, I see it. And then, now that a good majority of it's done, I went back and I'm like, are we in the same house?
Right.
I mean,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of homes have potential, if you have the vision and or the time to do it,
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I do like that. I like to see the visions, and then when they actually come to life, I'm like,
right.
Who wants to sell now?
Right. Can we sell your house now?
Can I buy it?
Right. Because that adds a lot of value too, especially if you update like kitchens and bedrooms and stuff like that. That adds a lot of value.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, the ones that need love usually are going to be your best bet.
Especially for, in times of uncertainty and volatility in the market, that might be a spot where you can shine,
Yeah, if it's move-in ready, like, it may not be the carpet you want or the paint you want or light fixtures or, whatever it is. But if you can move in and deal with it, pick a room.
Yeah.
Start working on it little by little and it will come together, And I find as I'm updating my house, I love my house. And then I update something and I'm like, oh, I really love my house. But then you get used to it and then you update something else again. You're
right.
Like, oh my God, I love my house.
It's the same way like when you rearrange your house.
Exactly.
Like if you go in your living room, you move your furniture around your living room, like it's like a whole new room again.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't I do this in the first
place? Right. Yeah. It's just when you rearrange things, it gives you a whole new perspective and like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And all you did was move furniture or paint the wall a different color. It's surprising how much paint can do too.
Oh my gosh, you're telling me. Sure.
Well, your whole house was yellow when you bought it, so literally everything was yellow.
Eggshell yellow.
Yes, literally everything. But yeah, paint can do a lot also. And most sellers aren't going to invest money in updating the flooring or changing the paint color because what if they put carpet and you hate carpet? I mean, some people get the ick from carpet. They don't want any carpet in their house.
Yep.
And other people think it's cozy. So it's you don't want to invest money in taking the carpet out and putting hardwood in, or vice versa. When the
Correct.
buyer's kind of coming in, they'll go, "Why would they do that?"
Right.
You know, so
Exactly. Yeah.
it's one of the things where sellers can't customize the house to you. You know, so it's hard to leave it as is, and then they can change it when they
Right.
move in.
Right. And that's, usually 9 times out of 10 is what I tell my sellers.
Yeah,
Like, if carpet is in decent condition and doesn't look bad,
yeah.
but it's
If it's full of stains and dog
right.
messes and
Right.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah. But, if it's worn, here and there, it is what it is, because a buyer's going to come in and they're going to have a different vision, and they're going to want this and this and this instead.
right,
So if you go ahead and replace something that necessarily doesn't need to be replaced, you've just wasted money,
right,
really, if you think about it.
right. For something they may not even keep in the
Mhm.
house.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, people definitely, I think everybody is just super crabby.
So it's something, it makes you scratch your head and say, "What is going on?" Because
Hmm.
but that's the thing in real estate is it's always changing, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I have talked to so many agents over the past couple weeks, and they're all like, what is going on?
Yeah,
I mean, there's
it's
stuff that,
bizarre.
yeah, it is weird, the stuff that is going on. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I get some like bizarre things on loan files now too. And it's like, what the heck is going on? Like
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's hard to explain. So I guess the moral of our rant today is be kind.
Hmm.
I feel like we talked about that before, but also like understanding the market is, time in the market is better than timing the market.
Correct.
So understanding the market and knowing what's comfortable for you, and when
Hmm.
you're ready to jump, that's when it's the right time to buy.
Correct.
To be quite honest,
Yep.
the market's going to keep on changing. We can't control that. We have
Yep.
zero control over the market. So all we can do is just take it day by day, and then when you have a lender and a realtor that understand the market and all of the guidelines, we can help you navigate those choppy waters sometimes, and
Hmm.
get to the end. But sometimes it's not going to be sunshine and roses. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
there's a lot of stormy days, in that path.
Yep. Yeah, I've been saying that on every listing appointment I go to lately. Like, buckle up, Buttercup, because
And the thing is you can't prepare for it.
no,
You know what
mm-mm.
I mean? Like, 'cause so many things change, and like every person is different. Like, you
Yep.
literally can't prepare them for, like, here's what's happened. However,
Hmm.
strange things keep on, happening or showing up, or we get some bizarre like counteroffer or whatever. Like, it's something that you can't prepare for. So all you can really do is just go with the flow and just adjust and adapt as you can. I'm not saying bend over and just do whatever. Like, you want to
Hmm.
adjust what you can, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I just tell sellers everything I've run into lately, and like, hey, heads up, let's prepare for the worst, hope for the best,
right,
because you just never know. As long as you're prepared and you're like, okay, this isn't going to be as easy as it was a couple years ago. So we got this, and just know that your agent should be there to fight for you and be a teammate
right,
with you, and then also when a good buyer's agent comes in, if you've got the listing, like, having that communication and that understanding is fantastic. It
yeah.
makes a very stressful deal not so stressful.
Yeah, communication is huge, and I
Hmm.
feel like we talk about that every single week. Communication
Hmm.
is key to everything, really.
Hmm.
Even
Yep.
if things aren't going perfect, if you openly communicate that and are honest with
Hmm.
everybody, it makes it a little better.
Right. Yeah. And working, it's kind of nice being in a small town, because you end up working with the same agents over and over
Hmm.
and over. So you kind of build a rapport, and
So they
knowing.
understand,
Hmm.
that things aren't
Hmm. Yeah.
normal. It's just hard when you get people from other markets.
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So you
because the
just don't know.
markets vary. Every county is different.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
feel
for
like even
sure.
the towns in inside the county is probably different
Yeah.
too.
Every
It's so
area is definitely
it's
different.
so
Yes.
bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and there's quite some interesting sellers out there.
Hmm.
I mean, there's sellers that don't want to move anything and go to closing and sign the house over, they get paid, keys are exchanged, and then you find out one seller decides to go back into the property without the new buyer there and start taking stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And then the cops get called.
You no longer own that home. You sign over your rights to that property when you send it out of line at the telecompany.
Yeah. And then your buyer is calling you, yelling that, hey, what's going on? You know, and I've called the cops and, oh my God. Yes. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand it. Like these contracts you sign are legally binding and you have repercussions when you don't follow them. You sign all the paperwork, you get paid for your house.
Right.
You hand over the keys. That house is no longer yours.
Correct.
You cannot enter that house.
No, everything should have been out because you had plenty of time to pack all your stuff and get it out. If you procrastinate, that's not my problem.
Correct. It's not the buyer's problem. You can't find moving help or this is injured or that's injured. Come on. 9 times out of 10, you've got anywhere from a 30 to a 45-day closing. If you can't find some help somewhere in there, it might be more of a you problem, I should say, than finding help.
Or if you can't find help, you openly communicate that with your agent. Say,
Correct.
hey, we got a problem. Because then
Correct.
at that point, I'm sure you have resources that can help get things moving.
Yes. And we could even bump closing back.
Right. Like, hey, we need an extra week to move, or can we get post occupancy for a week?
Exactly.
So but again, communication. Don't just, I get like some people wait to pack because they want to wait for like a loan commitment because like, I don't want to pack all my stuff up and then have the deal fall through. Like, I get that, because the last thing you want to do is pack all your stuff up and then it not close. And then you have to pack everything, unpack everything. So I get waiting, but don't wait for everything, at least start moving some things.
Yeah. Pack up the stuff that you really don't use or don't need right now,
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've been saying, real estate right now is different. It just seems like every week something new blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
we're always learning new things or new situations arise that we had no,
well, yeah, it used to be, every couple months or so, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. Sweet. Now I feel like it's a weekly basis. I'm like, wait, what?
Right. When did that change? When's that a thing?
Or just like, oh, I didn't think anything could top last week's issue. And then knock, knock, knock. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like there's so many things that are showing up on your bingo card that you didn't know were on your bingo card for this year.
Yeah.
It's something. But
so
I think just to wrap it up is basically, the market is very volatile right now. There's a lot of things happening that, we can't control. What you can control is your knowledge and your ability,
attitude.
In your attitude. Yeah. Knowledge, attitude, ability, communication, like those are things that you can control. And then just learn to kind of go with the flow.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Because the more that you try to stop it, try and rebel against it, it's not going to help you.
Yeah. Anytime you set expectations for something and those expectations aren't met, then immediately it feels like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
So, go in with open eyes, have patience, because right now the market is crazy. There's no words to describe.
There's no words. There's literally no words.
No, there's no to describe what's going on. Like I said, every week something tops the previous week. So, no words.
But for any words you do have, make them kind words.
Make them kind words, or say them behind closed doors.
Because everybody's already stressed out the way it is. You don't need to have meanness added on top of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've been working some crazy hours lately, so I'm stressed. I'm not sleeping, eating, drinking, water.
Yeah.
But doing the stuff that normal people get to do every day. So yeah, we're all stressed out, whether it's because you're working so much, whether you're not sleeping right, or you're not exercising anymore, or you're watching too much of the news. That's all the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody is stressed out. And we all understand frustration. Just be nice, And if you need to blow up, do it behind closed doors.
Or have a partner that you can blow up to, or a bestie, or someone that you can just vent and okay.
Exactly.
I feel better now.
Let it out there because you're going to regret.
Yeah.
Most people do.
Some people don't. But,
So.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up. But yeah, I think that's, to keep it real and unfiltered, I feel like it's important to understand the stresses behind the market and kind of what we're facing right now, because it's not always
No,
sunshine and roses,
no,
unfortunately.
nope, it's not. And if you ask any agent out there, they're going to tell you if they have not dealt
Yeah.
with this before either. So, yeah, it's nuts.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
be kind.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in.